Hey, this is Ryan with South Jersey Yak Fishing. Thanks once again for tuning in. You know, kayak fishing can be a lot of fun. However, for a true kayak angler to have a good day out on the water, it is important to make sure that you bring all the necessary gear that you'll need in order to accomplish the task. And so for this reason, most kayak anglers will go through some sort of mental checklist to make sure that they have all of the things they need before they leave the house. What do you say we go through this list right now, shall we? Kayak, check. Paddle, check. Fishing rods, check. Leader line, check. Jigs, check. Bait, check. Sunglasses, check. Fish finder, check. Cameras, check. Battery, check. Engine? Engine? Where the hell is the engine? Ah, son of a... Yeah, so kind of annoying. All the little things I have to remember to bring, and yet somehow I exited out of my garage right past the engine, which happens to be one of the larger items I have to bring. Not only did I practically trip over it every single time I went in and out of my garage, but it also left an extra space in the back of my truck, and because I packed the truck the same way every time, I should have noticed that something was missing. But anyways, I'm here to fish, so we're going to give it a go. And you're going to see me standing up and clinging onto the pilings just to try and maintain my position because it's illegal to tie off. But this is going to work out much better than I think. All right, so as luck would have it, I forgot my paddle, or forgot my engine. All I have is a paddle. So went to all this trouble to come down here. Figured I'd give it a go, just a paddle, see what happens. Not very happy. Not worth it for me to go all the way home to go get it. So we'll make do as best we can. What we got to work with. I am not very optimistic. Well, that's not exactly a winning attitude there, buddy, but I think we'll just check back a little bit later after we've caught a few fish and see if we've turned that attitude around. Something hit it. Yeah, this wind's making it tough, man. Very, very tough. So we have a wind against tide situation here, and I'm actually sitting backwards. The tide is moving the direction my bow is facing, and it's kind of a funny position to have to fish out of, but I'm doing my best to make this work. This wind against tide situation is blowing on my bow from about an 11 o'clock direction, and it's wrapping around the opposite side of the piling that I want to fish. And as frustrating as this is, once I'm on the opposite side, I'm going to realize that I can wedge myself in between these pilings by stretching my legs out to hold my position. And although it is not the most comfortable position for me to fish in a tight space, it's going to get me a couple of fish on the deck, and that should help out a little bit with my attitude adjustment. Nice. Short. Man, this is not fun for me. I'm too used to having that darn engine. Yeah, so I'm a little spoiled having that engine all the time, but I think it's good to experience new challenges that force me out of my comfort zone. It helps me to grow as an angler. And it's also important to point out that you don't need an elaborate setup to do this kind of fishing that I'm doing here. The bridge and the jetty are easy to find without sonar, and you just get a basic setup and apply a little technique. You can catch fish just like I'm doing here. About a 13-incher. Nothing special. Bye-bye. That was kind of difficult to fight him because he's between the pilings. He kept rubbing up against the structure there. The leader looks okay. So we'll shoot up right over there, but so weird having a fish like this. Not used to this. They're down there, man. Oh man, this is keeper. Just get a keeper tug. Look at that. Man. Actually, I have to get this hook out to tell. And if you notice, I'm keeping the paddle right there on the deck just so it's at the ready if I need to grab it in a hurry. But I gotta be really careful, because if I somehow accidentally drop that in the water and it gets away from me, then I guess I really will be up creek without a paddle. She's like 15 exactly, but I mean borderline, so I'll let him go. Bye bye, little tog. All right. It's 2. I'm doing better than I thought I was going to. Okay, so at this point I've been sitting here for a few minutes since that last fish, and I haven't gotten any more bites, so you know what that means. I'm gonna have to move. I don't want to move. Yeah, I like this little spot I've nestled myself into. I've found it easy to hold my position here, but there's no longer any fish on this piling, so if I want to catch any more, I'm gonna have to go find them. About 23 feet of water. And on this next piling, I'm gonna have a few of these smaller tog messing with my bait until a slightly larger one comes over and takes the hook. It's something had a piece of it, and I kind of pulled it out of his mouth. This is an uncomfortable position to have to fish in. Very strange. Here we go. Must be small fish, man. I feel like we're gonna find out in a minute. The bite's picking up. This is a decent fish. Not big enough, but still a decent fish. Got himself off. That's good. This one's a 14-incher. Decent sized tug. Bye bye. Nothing's graceful today, man. All right, cool. We got a biting on this piling now, so we're gonna stick around here, catch a few nice fish, and have some fun before we go home. Tug, probably about 13.5 to 14 inches. He's going back. Bye-bye. Okay, so even though I do have the paddle, I'm not trying to use it. In fact, I'm just hanging on to this piling and trying to maintain my position so I don't have to paddle back and reposition the kayak up against it. This is going to save me some time, but the higher the winds get, the more difficult it's becoming to do that. Oh, he's digging. half. Decent fight for this tug. And I'm gonna let him go once I get this kayak straight. Bye-bye. Come on, man. It's a decent fish, man. Oh yeah. Now that right there is probably a keeper. And of course, just as I thought was gonna happen, this neck got stuck on my treble hook. Now it's stuck on the other one. Yes, dude, I gotta swing him in. Yeah, so I have a pretty big net, and it's very convenient when I have a large fish on the line. However, when the wind's blowing, it tends to blow the netting on things like my rod handles and my treble hook lures. I remember one time grabbing the net to try and net a fish and almost dumped my reel into the water by lifting it straight out of the rod holder. So yeah, I gotta be careful. Yeah. He's 15. Definitely a 15-incher. You know what, man? I'm gonna let you go. You're not a big fish. Bigger. Okay, at this point it seems the smaller tog are out and about now, so we're gonna see some swings and misses, which is typical when they're around, but we're still gonna be catching, and I might even have some fun in the process. Smaller fish. It's weird, wind is trumping tide right now and pushing me backwards against the tide. And it shifted, so now it's pushing me also away from the piling. Oh, something definitely had it, man. It was swimming with it. Must have been small. Only had a piece of it. Didn't take the whole thing. I should have been able to set that hook and have a fish. Got one that time, but he's small. Well, it looks like I might be having a little bit more fun now. Let's just do a quick check and see how my attitude's doing. What a pain in the butthole this is. Okay, we might need a little bit more time here. Small fish. That's why I wasn't hooking up before. Smaller. How long do I do this for? I really wish I didn't forget my engine. been so much better. Probably a 13-incher. Bye-bye. Small. Maybe bigger than I think. I don't know. That's a decent size. Looks like he's about 15. Yeah, he's just about there, man. Might be a little short. It's alright, I kind of don't care. I'm happy I'm catching something. Bye-bye. Just lost my position. Let this guy go. Bye-bye. Okay, so basically at this point, these fish are spitting that jig and bait the second they feel just a little bit of pressure. So I'm swinging and missing a little bit more, just like that. So the strategy now is if I want to hook them, I'm just going to wait a little bit longer and delay on that hook set and just keep lifting slightly just to make sure they have it before I actually set the hook. And I'm still gonna miss fish. Alright, so at this point I'm just getting a bunch of tiny little hits on my bait, and when I try to set the hook I'm either missing or I'm just kind of pulling it out of their mouth. When I do catch a fish, it's a really small one. So because of this, it's getting to be about that time, and this is going to be the last fish. I think it's time to go. Alright, all in all, it wasn't such a bad trip, and even though I did forget my engine, I did enjoy a nice bite window of about an hour and a half and caught quite a few fish, and I might even had a little bit of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, smash that notification bell, and please consider supporting me by subscribing to my channel, as I would greatly appreciate it. Catch you next time, guys. Peace.